internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 12 of our script. Let's get right in today's video. I want you guys to strap in for this one because this one's going to be too much to handle. The facts I'm going to provide you, you just cannot disagree with. 99% of you guys may not believe this. The 1% will. But the IMF, the BIS Innovation Hub, the World Bank, the G30, the FSB are all following one roadmap. And that is the G20 Enhancing Cross-Border Roadmap that was published back in 2021, where they tested Ripple and XRP. And we have hardcore evidence to prove it. And also, we got hardcore evidence to prove that they're all following this roadmap. But first, we need to talk about a very, very important topic, and that is Bitcoin's failure in terms of payments. It will never succeed in a means of payments. Banks will never adopt Ethereum and Bitcoin to move value from one end to another across the world. This individual paid $3 million in fees to move 139 Bitcoins, 8.4 billion sats equaling to $3.1 million to move $5.1 million. This is exactly what I mean when I say it'll never happen. Banks cannot take this risk, knowing that's randomly when they're moving trillions on a daily basis. One transaction that moved $10 billion got hit with a $5 million fee, which you cannot reverse. And that is why XRP Ledger has the clawback feature. We all know where this is headed, okay? This is just not sustainable whatsoever. 83 Bitcoins for a fee. And now let's get into some very, very hardcore evidence that you just cannot disagree with. The IMF recently published this month, Central Bank Digital Currency Initial Considerations. Very important. The report prepared by the IMF staff has benefited from comments and suggestions by executive directors following the informal session on October 26, 2023. And that informal session also took place within the Bank of England. Okay, right here about the event, October 26, 27 with the IMF programmee. Keep in mind that the Bank of England and Ripple have been actively working for years. So active that we have a PDF that was published just a couple months ago, the digital pound, a new form of money for households and businesses. And they refer to, for cross-border synchronizations, a joint project with Ripple demonstrating that synchronization FX transactions in two different simulated RTGS systems can be achieved, leading to the incorporation of synchronization functionality into the roadmap for renewal. And then when we go further on to the PDF, listen to what they said. The BIS Innovation Hub conducts multiple technical experiments in collaboration with national central banks. Recent examples include Project Polaris that tested offline payment solutions involving CBDCs. And we covered this. Project Polaris has 2 Ripple executives looking over it for offline payments. It also mentioned Project Icebreaker. And when we get into the Project Icebreaker, that was published this year, it indirectly ties with Ripple XRP through Corda. These are all proof of concepts, as you guys could see. Israel is using the Ethereum Quorum, and we got Sweden using Corda. These are all proof of concepts, just seeing how these systems are working and how they could communicate with each other. And then, gets better. The IMF and the World Bank have active capacity development program on CBDC, which we're going to get into in a moment. But folks, look at this part, okay? We have them referring to the G20 roadmap. All institutions are contributing to pushing the frontier of CBDC exploration with analytical papers, including with the BIS Committee for Payments and Market Infrastructure, in the context of the G20 roadmap to enhance cross-border payments. And here we have the IMF and the World Bank coming together. This is the paper that it referred to. This is the CD it referred to. Topics included on overview of objectives, macro financial implications, legal technology, and interoperability issues.
We do want to have an open and interoperable system. Central bank digital currencies are not constructed to be interoperable.
Interoperability between central bank digital currencies
is very much there needs to be interoperability globally. And even in a world of CBDCs, you still need interoperability to solve.
It has to work interoperably with anyone, anywhere. That's how we're going to solve this problem. And I think we're really close. I mean, USDC itself we've seen over $3.5 trillion of transactions directly on the internet between counterparties. And so if we can, improve it with more scalable blockchain technologies like, Brad's company.
They have interoperability issues that they still haven't solved, which Ripple can solve. Let's keep going. The same PDF with the World Bank. Listen to this. To help achieve the targets of the G20 roadmap to enhance cross-border payments, the G20 has tasked the IMF and the World Bank in close collaboration with Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure. This is so massive. And you got to understand the types of people that we are dealing with. I want to show you guys an example of Spain's newly appointed Minister of Digital Transformation. Look at him pouring into a cup holder.
El punto de partida. El punto de partida no es un punto de partida. Ah, esto no es. Bueno, me parecía complejo. Ahora tengo problemas. Mucho cuidado donde pongo la botella ahora.
And then he's going to come here and talk about interoperability and CBDCs and all that stuff. Okay, I think I'll stick to listening to YouTubers with the information they provide. So now that I've shown you the evidence that the IMF, the BIS Innovation Hub, or the World Bank are all working closely on this G20 roadmap, that's what they're following. And when we get into this is a topic that I've covered before, but just know that this will go down in the history books 50 years from now when everything, is flowing, and we will be looked back at. This video will be looked back at because nobody in this crypto sector has talked about the 4 Sundays that we have discovered on this channel. And that is a fact. I was the first individual to connect all these together. And that is a fact. I'm not stroking my own ego. I'm just the original people, content viewers. You guys already know. I believe it's the 6 Sundays now. It's always on the Sundays. But this was so massive because they started exploring liquidity bridges in the month of November of 2021, the same month that Ripple came out with their liquidity hub. And if we take a look at this, on the same month, it was done on a Sunday, you see that number of transactions executed hit an all-time high. On a Sunday? Give me a break, okay? Don't tell me this is not a test. Number of currency exchanges hit an all-time high. Number of payments hit an all-time high. Successful payments hit an all-time high. Do you see where I'm going with this? The World Bank, the IMF, the World Economic Forum, the BIS Innovation Hub, the FSB, the Group of 30, they're all involved on this. And from a banker's perspective, given my experience, I know when you're doing a proof of concept tests or any kind of test that you're willing to do on a widespread volume, you're going to do it on a Sunday. These are the testing days. These are all facts. Go ahead and smash that like button. And now just to put the icing on the cake, to all the individuals that have been following my work, Ticket Create, which I've covered in the past many times, how it is so beneficial to have some sort of mechanism like the Ticket Create built in because the bankers love that shit. Okay, I'll try to put the link in the description down below for the Ticket Create. I got to go look for the video. But Ticket Created is something that the banks, institutions, the DTCC will all leverage. And what are the odds The first time it went live was Thursday, November 18th, but they didn't utilize it yet until we covered it a couple months ago. But they activated it because the big boys were coming in. The big boys were here, so they had the right pillars in place. And that is why Ticket Created was introduced pretty much 3 days before the testing started. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That is just scratching the surface. It is just scratching the surface. And never forget what John McAfee said even back in 2018. Listen to what he said here. And he was 100% accurate. 100% accurate. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys are all pioneers. Everybody watching this video, everybody that's been in the blockchain sector for at least, I would say, you know what, I don't even care if you guys are in here, unless you guys are 6 months, you guys are new, whatever. Just know, folks, forget all the fundamentals about crypto. And I want to give you guys one point of view that should just relieve any kind of stress that you even have. Look at the market cap of the whole crypto sector. It's at $1.4 trillion. Zoom out and just know the sector alone will flood in. Money will flood into the sector to push it to 30 trillion. The crypto sector will exceed $100 trillion in market cap. There is so much money that's going to go into this technology that we are the pioneers at these prices. Now, listen to McAfee here, folks.
I'd like to talk about the war that we're all engaged in, whether you see it as a war or not. It is, in fact, a war. Banks have declared war on us by denying us the ability to use credit cards to purchase crypto. The government has declared war on us. The SEC is trying to abscond with crypto as if it were securities, which it is not. We're in war. What can you do? What can we do? Take action. Write your congressman. It sounds silly, but while they are still in power, make the bastards work. Go into your bank and demand that they allow you to take fiat currency from your crypto accounts and deposit in the bank. If they say no, say, can you recommend a bank that would? Demand the credit card companies accept payment for crypto. Believe me, they're still in business. If people start abandoning writing letters, walking into banks, and more importantly, writing the Security and Exchange Commission and demand that they leave us alone. Because we are not a security. We are coins, we are currency. They are frightened of us.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.